Hi, grade ones. We are going to finish our Magic Treehouse book today. We left off with Jack and Annie on a woolly mammoth and a saber-toothed tiger maybe going to attack them. And we wrote about what we thought was going to happen. Do you remember when we make a guess in books? It's called a big word. It's called a prediction. So we did a prediction. We made a guess. What's going to happen? And today we're going to find out. So we have Chapter 9, Master of the Animals. The saber-tooth crept forward. Jack stared in horror. "Play the flute," whispered Annie. "Is she nuts?" Jack thought. "Try," said Annie. Jack held the mammoth bone flute in his lips, and he blew. The flute made a strange sound. The tiger froze. He glared at Jack. Jack's hand shook. The tiger growled. He took another step. The mammoth roared and stomped the ground. "Play it," said Annie. "Keep playing." Jack blew again. The saber-tooth froze again. Jack kept blowing until he ran out of breath. The tiger snarled. "He's still there," whispered Annie. "Keep it up." Jack closed his eyes. He took a deep breath. Then he blew as hard as he could, as long as he could. He covered and uncovered the holes on the bone. The music sounded strange, as if it were coming from another world. "He's leaving," Annie whispered. Jack raised his eyes. The saber-tooth was slinking off towards the cliffs. "We did it," said Annie. Jack lowered the flute. He felt very tired. The mammoth waved her trunk happily. "To the treehouse, Lulu," said Annie. The woolly mammoth snorted. Then she lumbered over to the tallest tree. From the back of the mammoth, Jack grabbed the rope ladder. He held it for Annie. She stroked the mammoth's giant ear. "Bye, Lulu. Thank you," she said. Annie grabbed the rope ladder, and then she started up. Peanut climbed up, too. After they disappeared into the treehouse, Jack climbed up the ladder. He looked back at the woolly mammoth. Sorry, you can't see super well. They're climbing up the treehouse rope. "Bye, girl," he said. "Go home now, and watch out for that saber-tooth." The mammoth walked away into the sunset. When Jack couldn't see her anymore, he started up the rope ladder. He pulled himself into the treehouse. "Ta-da!" She handed the Pennsylvania book to Jack. Jack smiled. Now he was positive they had found the third M thing. Their mission was complete. "Before we leave, we have to give our coats back," said Annie. "Oh, right," said Jack. They took off their reindeer skin coats and dropped them to the ground. "Brr," said Annie. "I hope the Cro-Magnon people find them." Jack stared out the window. He wanted to take one last look at the prehistoric world. The sun was setting behind the hills. 4 people were crossing a snowy plain. It was a Cro-Magnon family. "Hey!" shouted Annie. "Shh!" said Jack. The Cro-Magnon stopped and peered at Jack in Annie's direction. "We left your reindeer skins down there," Annie pointed at the ground. The tallest person stepped forward and raised a spear. "Time to go," said Jack. He grabbed the Pennsylvania book. He found the picture of Frog Creek and pointed at it. "I wish we could go home," he said. "Goodbye, good luck," Annie called, waving out the window. The wind started to blow. The leaves began to shake. The wind blew harder, and the treehouse started to spin. It spun faster and faster. Then everything was still. Absolutely still. Chapter 10 is called This Age. Birds sang. The air was soft and warm. "I hope they find their coats," said Annie. "Me too," said Jack. He pushed his glasses into place. Squeak! "Hey, how did you find the sorcerer?" Annie asked Peanut. Squeak! "It's a secret, huh?" said Annie. She turned to Jack. "Where's the flute?" He held up the mammoth bone, then he placed it on the M carved into the floor, next to the mango from the rainforest and the moonstone from the ninjas. "Moonstone, mango, mammoth bone," Annie said. "We just need one more M thing. Then Morgan will be free from her spell." "Tomorrow," said Jack. Annie patted Peanut on the head. "Bye, you," she said. She started down the rope ladder. Jack gathered his things, and he paused to glance at the mouse. She stared at him with big brown eyes. "Thanks again for helping us," he said. Then he climbed down the rope ladder and jumped onto the ground. Jack and Annie ran through the Frog Creek woods onto their street. Their neighborhood looked rosy in the sunset. The picture of them with their M things. It's great to be back in this age, Jack thought. Warm and safe and almost home. "I'm glad we don't have to go hunting for dinner," he said. "Yeah, Mom and Dad already did that," said Annie, "at the grocery store." "I hope they trapped some spaghetti and meatballs," said Jack. "I hope they trapped a pizza," said Annie. "Hurry, I'm starving," said Jack. They ran up their sidewalk and through their front door. "We're home," shouted Annie. "What's for dinner?" asked Jack. And that is the end of Sunset of the Saber-Tooth. I hope you enjoyed our travel back in time.